Hi, today I am working on sewing on patches. So we did our Route 66 trip and we collected patches from everywhere that we went that sold patches. Um, so I am making Jim a jean jacket. I got them all placed where I want them and I am starting to sew them on now. While I was sewing them yesterday, a couple of them came off. So what I do, here's this one. They are iron-on also, but that's not good for longevity. So I got my hot glue gun and I put just a little bit of hot glue, not a lot of hot glue, just a little bit of hot glue on there just to hold it in place while I stitch it. So I want that one right there. I'll hold it down just to get it good and stuck, because I'm going to be stitching around this. I've already stitched around some of them, like this one yesterday. I'm doing white right now. I've got white bobbin thread and I've got white top thread. This one over here came loose too. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue just to hold them in place while I'm stitching them down. Stick this one right there is where I want it. Make sure it's held down nice and flat. I can go ahead and turn off my hot glue gun now. And we will head on over to the sewing machine. Let me turn off my hot glue gun. Now we are going to be traveling over here. I'm going to try to get you down there pretty good on my sewing machine. I'm going to be doing a zigzag stitch. Slide this right under here. Like I said, I'm doing white right now, so I'm actually going to be coming over to, let me get this all flat. To this one over here. So I'm going to be going around this one. I pull my drawer out to help support the heaviness of it. I have it set to this zigzag stitch here. And next I need to make sure it's at the right distance between here and here, the border that I want it to be in. Mine's set at 6 right now, my width. So I'm just going to take that down probably to 2 just to start, so I can make sure it's right for me. So to check that, I am going to just turn my wheel towards myself to see where it first goes down. See where my needle is going down. It's going down on this edge of my border. See that? And then I want it to be able to go all the way to the other side. So I'm going to watch that. I'm going to hand turn it still right now. Right now it's doing my lockdown stitches. That's why it's staying in the same place. So see, that moved over a little bit and over. We want it to go just to the other side. This is all me just checking to make sure. So I can go a little wider. So I'm going to go to 3, because I want it to go to the whole width of that. I'm going to go to 3.5. because I can still go a little wider. I don't want it to go past, see now there, that's exactly where I want it. Can you see my needle? Not sure if you can see in there, but so it's going right to the edge of the white here, and it's going to the edge of right there. So that's exactly what I want it set to right now. So I've got it set to 3.5. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop down my foot. I'm going to keep my needle down button. I'm going to keep, see the little red dot right there? I'm going to keep that right into the center of my border right here. And then I'm just going to go all the way around this whole patch right here. I've got my stitching set to as slow as it can go because I don't want to go fast. I'm going to really be having to do a lot of pivoting and everything here. So I'm just going to go very slow, like I said, and turn as I go. Each patch that I get to, I'm watching very carefully to make sure it doesn't go too wide. I'll have to reset the distance that I want it to go. I'm going to keep it very flat, and like I said, pivot, because I want to keep that right along the edges of my jacket. It's a slow process. I mean, you're not going to be zippity-doo-dahing right through doing your patch, because you want it to look good. See, I'm pivoting it and just going. If it was a straight patch, that would be much easier, but it's not. So I have to turn a lot of pivoting. And it's zigzagging my stitch. And then pivot. These are all, they all have a lot of angles and stuff on them. But once they're down for pretty good. Make sure you keep your fabric pulled taut behind it. Don't stretch it out, but just keep it flat, because you want your patch to lay flat. I definitely want my patch to lay flat, and I want my stitches to go right to the edge. Now I gotta pivot around. It's a lot of pivoting. This is why I have used a little bit of hot glue to hold it down also. Keep it flat. I got my needle down to make sure, can you see? To make sure I stay right where I want to be. Once it's down, it'll just be down forever. So it's okay to go slow and make sure that you got it just perfect. Pivot. Oh. I accidentally touched my save button. I didn't really want to do that yet. Pivoting. If I was on a little bit of a straight spot, I would be able to go a little faster, but right now I don't want to go fast because I'm trying to make sure that I just stay right on the edge. Definitely a labor of love. And I've got all my patches exactly where I want them. So we had a great time on our trip. This will be an original jacket, so I'm excited for that too. And it's just everywhere that we personally went. So that makes it fun. Like I said, I'm trying to always just keep guiding that little red dot right kind of in the center all the way around, because that's what I've got my width set to. That's how I checked my width. And there's a lot of moving, so I've got a lot of pivoting to do. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Got that little point coming up down here. This is where I started, and I was doing my check. So I'll pull that up, and I'll just clip it. Keeping it flat, coming around. I'm only going to do one on here. I'll show you a picture of it when I'm all the way done. But right now I'm just trying to get them all sewed down. This is my first color that I've done, is the white. I got enough variety of thread colors that I will change my thread for all my different color patches, because I want it to match around the edge, so that way you don't see my stitching as much. You can do a straight stitch too if you wanted to. I just prefer to do the zigzag stitch to hold it down. Make sure you keep it flat, like I said, and pivot. We're almost done with this patch. That's not too bad for getting one patch down. I got a lot of patches here that I got to get down. This is 47 nights on Route 66 worth of patches. Some of my patches I changed a little bit. Maybe a second and I'll show you one of the ones. We went to Cadillac Ranch, and my patch at Cadillac Ranch, it's right here. This is my Cadillac Ranch patch. It's upside down here. But all my Cadillacs were white. Now, if you've ever been to Cadillac Ranch, you know those Cadillacs, they're all painted. They're not white. So it did not look anything like Cadillac Ranch. So when I got home to my sewing machine, I just filled them all in with color. Made it look more like what it looks like. Got it on backward there. Got to put it back going straight. Accidentally hit my back stitch button. Make sure you don't do that. The biggest part is pivoting around these edges. A lot of pivoting. And I just keep that right in the center there. It's about the same distance as that little gap right there. So I just gotta always keep that right in the middle. We're almost done here, all the way to the edge. Now I go past a little bit from where I started, just to make sure. I need to clean that area. I've got all kinds of scissors and doodads around, just so that it's locked in and it doesn't unravel or anything like that. Just always keep it right in line where you want to sew, right in the center there. And like I said, I've already got my center my stitch length to the exact size I need it. Me pivoting around. Starting to go a little bit faster. And that whole patch is down. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my button here to tie off, and then it will tie off there and it will cut it. Let's see how that one turned out. There's my patch. It's all down. See? Good patch. I've already did all the white. That was my last white. I actually need to do this one still. This will be my last white. And then I'll be changing my color to black. But that is how you put down a patch. I still have this patch over here to do too. Sometimes they just come off. That's why I will be hot gluing that one right back to where I want it. So I'm excited to show everybody Jim's jean jacket with all of our Route 66 patches on it when we're done. And that is how you sew down a patch. So hope everybody has a good day and happy sewing or hobbying or doing whatever you're doing today.